Do you sometimes feel like you're a crazy person when it comes to your insecurities? Are your insecurities holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself? I'm going to help you understand and hopefully overcome these insecurities in this video, so stay tuned. I can relate to whatever you're going through right now because I was overwhelmed by my insecurities back in the day. I have been through a lot of toxic relationships that have made me question every little thing. So I'm going to help you with that based on my own experience and based from what I've learned through reading and therapy. Before I start this video, welcome back. If you are new to this channel, my name is Vero. I am a self-love channel and I help you all grow, glow, and thrive after trauma, so let's start healing together. So let's just clear the air once and for all. And I think a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but I'm just gonna put it out there because this is what I think, this is what I feel, and I think you'll come to agree with me as well once I point it out here for you. You are not crazy for being insecure. Let me repeat that. You are not crazy for being insecure. If you look up the meaning of what insecurity is, it's the anxiety and the lack of confidence and the uncertainty in yourself. No one is born with those qualities. They all come from a place that is understandable. We've all felt anxious before and we've all felt uncertain before, so why is this any different and why is it looked down upon when someone is insecure? We need to reframe the way we think about insecurities because sometimes you guys can be really nasty when someone is going through a little bit of insecurity, and I don't think that's okay. The reason why people get insecure is because they have went through something traumatic or they've went through a form of betrayal that has made them question and second guess the integrity and the legitimacy of someone else. This is basically a human feeling. This is human nature. We are wired to assess threats. We were wired for survival. So anything negative that comes our way, anything that looks a little bit suspicious or a little bit uncertain or something that makes us feel anxious, that's something that we're automatically going to feel. It's a human feeling. It's okay to be insecure. It's okay to feel that anxiety and that uncertainty, especially if you've been through something traumatic that has made you question a couple of things. As you may or may not have known, I have been through an abusive relationship that has manipulated me emotionally, mentally, and has abused me physically to the point where I felt like I couldn't trust anyone anymore. So are you just gonna look at me and tell me that after being through that, I'm just gonna be a confident person, that I can just pick myself back up and assume everything is okay after that? The answer is no. In saying that, I understand that insecurities can overrun you and overwhelm you and control your life. And that's not where you want to be. Because once your insecurities start to control someone else's life, starts to ruin relationships, starts to really shift the way you look at people, that's when you have to stop and say, hey, I think my insecurities are making me an unhealthy person to be around and an unhealthy person to live with. Trust me, I have been there, but I'm gonna share with you some tips in this video that have helped me and will hopefully help you overcome these insecurities on your journey to healing. So the first tip I'm going to go over with you is a form of cognitive behavioral therapy. And this is what I call challenging the thoughts. More specifically, I'll go over what we all do. It's called future predicting. Now, what is future predicting? Future predicting is when you see something that might look a little bit suspicious or see something that might make you have that anxious or uncertain feeling, and you start to run away with those thoughts and start to think of every single scenario where you're going to be in danger, where you're going to feel betrayed, and you're going to feel like that person's going to hurt you. You're going to future predict every single scenario, but it isn't even happening. So when we start running away with our thoughts and when we start future predicting all these scenarios that are going to drive us wild and drive us mad with anxiety, we need to stop and think. When I come up with a scenario in my head, is it actually possible with all the evidence that I have around me that this is actually going to happen? So the most important part in all of this is stopping and thinking. I know it can be hard. For example, and this is something that is very close to my heart, say for example, your partner doesn't text you back as immediately as they usually do. A form of future predicting in this scenario is you going wild, and in my situation thinking, oh, they're going out with someone else, they're cheating on you, they're doing something behind your back, they're trying to plan all these secret things, so they're going to hurt you and betray you. Does that sound familiar? what you can do in this scenario is pause and think, hey, is he really the kind of person that will actually go behind your back and do something like that? You're going to continually try to challenge these thoughts with questions. Has he given me a reason to think this way? Is it actually because he's at work? We need to stop ourselves from future predicting all of these scary and messed up scenarios. So I challenge you to challenge the thoughts. Now, the second tip I have for you is to ground yourself. And what I mean by grounding yourself is to snap yourself out of it. What has worked really well for me is taking 5 huge deep breaths where I breathe in for 3, hold for 3 seconds, breathe out for 6 seconds. And you're going to do that 5 times. Trust me, your whole demeanor and your whole body language and everything you feel inside is just going to calm a lot more when you do this, which will give you room and the benefit to think about the situation. Another really good technique that I've used for grounding myself is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. This is where you involve all of your senses. You're going to spot 5 things that you see, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste. So it's as easy as saying, I see my camera, I see my water bottle, I see my notebook, I see my chair, I see my mirror, and so on and so forth with the other senses until you finally ground yourself and get back into your body. This 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique has helped me a lot as well to overcome any panic attacks or any anxiety attacks or any train of thoughts that I'm going to get myself lost in insecurity. And number 3, which I think is really important to all of this, is to understand that you have a bias. Understand that you are actually your own enemy. You are actually looking for something to tell you that you are right. This is unhealthy. This is not good. This is going to feed more into your insecurities, and it's going to help you spiral into more anxious feelings and more uncertain feelings. For example, you go into your partner's room. You see something is a little bit off, or you see something is missing. And your mind starts to spiral into these insecure thoughts, and you start to think, oh, if that thing's missing, what else can I find is missing? Or what else can I find that's off? And you find this other thing and this other thing and this another thing. But to be honest, you're doing it to yourself, trying to find every little bit of something that's going to feed your anxious thoughts and feed your insecurity. Understand that you go into situations sometimes with a bias. A lot of the reasons why we go into things with a bias is because we are reliving our trauma. When something traumatic has happened to us, our defenses go up. Our defenses remind us of that traumatic event and guards us from something that might happen like that again. So our bias kicks in when we get triggered, and we start to look for things that look familiar, and then we start to put ourselves in the situation that we've been before when it's not actually happening. And my last and final tip is truly coming from a caring place. If you feel like your insecurities are truly overwhelming you to the point where it's controlling your life, it's making you ruin relationships, and it's making you question every single thing you do and every connection you make, I would highly suggest going to see a therapist. There are just things that they understand. It is something that they've studied so much for, and it's something that they completely understand themselves that can truly help us realize things about ourselves that we don't even realize on our own. So all of the tips that I've listed before, these are things that my therapist has actually pointed out to me that I've never been open to realize or never been open to trying because I never had the tools in my own kit to do these kinds of things. For example, with myself, I never realized that I experience hypervigilance. And hypervigilance is this extreme alertness and awareness to your surroundings. And that is a form of PTSD that I've experienced when I went through my abusive relationship. My body almost controls itself and I have no control over it. So my hypervigilance takes over, and that's something where I don't think I myself can just handle on my own. I made a whole video as well talking about if therapy is worth it. I think you guys should check it out. So those are the tips I have for you. I hope you overcome your insecurities, and I hope your healing journey is going well, and I am there for you. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram or comment down below and let me know how you're feeling and what you think about all of this. I know you guys can do it. I believe in you. I was able to get out of a rut myself, and I'm hoping the same for you guys, and I hope this video helps. In saying that, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe down below if you want to see more content like this because I truly love helping you guys. I hope you all have a good day and enjoy your summer. Bye!